Hungary, the small country where you're always... Oh wait, I already used this joke. So now let's talk about those weirdos in the middle of Europe. It all started around the start of the 10th century when the 7 tribes came into the Carpathian Basin. They cut themselves and Hungary was formed. Where did they come from? There are two theories about that. The first one is that they came somewhere from Central Asia, but that's pretty unrealistic, and we all know that their true home is the Sirius star system. Anyway, they bought some land from this guy for a horse and they started pillaging Europe. After half a century, the folks of Europe realized that the Hungarians mostly knew only one strategy, so they had to give up on raiding. They settled down and tried this new called Christianity. Some people liked it and some people liked not liking it. This guy and this guy argued about it. Then when the boomer lost, he decided to visit the four borders of Hungary at the same time. However, the new king's son just died, so in order to keep the kingdom in the hands of Hungarians, he decided to choose his heir from a foreign country. After this, nothing interesting happened, just some conflict, drama and fratricide. Then a guy conquered Croatia, and another conquered a little bit more of it, and also he said that witches are bullshit. Blah blah blah, some more drama, and someone just said that we should write down some shit. This guy's son was such a generous king that he basically wasn't even a king anymore. And his son thought that maybe a king should be a king, so he took back everything that his father given away. Of course the nobles hated him for this, and they didn't have him to fight against the Mongol invasion. The Mongols just... Then the Mongols changed their minds and left. Around 50% of the country's population died, so the nobles and the king negotiated a bit and decided to not hate each other so much from now on. Some years later, the house of Arpad just died out and some cool boys split up the country. Then a guy from Italia came and put it back together. Thanks to him, the country stopped being poor, and later his son was a little bit bored and expanded the country a bit. After this, the Holy Roman Emperor ruled the country for...
Holy shit!
50 years, some Polish kings and some Habsburgs. Then the triumph of Nandor Fehervar led by the regent and the boys. His son became the greatest king in the history of the country by taxing the shit out of everyone. Oh, and he also formed this pretty cool gang called the Black Army. More Polish kings. Then they chose two kings. Both of them said, hey, that's illegal. And they said, fight! Constant conflict between the countries was natural, and these folks decided to be the new Hungary. The country was wealthy and pretty good. In 1568 they said all religions are cool except the ones that are not. Then this guy wanted to conquer Poland, so the Ottomans conquered Transylvania in return. After 150 years, the Habsburgs freed Hungary, just to be occupied by them. You could say they were Hungary for Turkey. This guy got bored and said that we should do a war again because there wasn't one in a long time. It went well. The Enlightenment brought relative peace for the next century. In the early 19th century, some brand new ideologies hit the country and it wanted to be free again. The Hungarians slowly achieved their goals, but the final goal could be only reached by what the f***, the Habsburgs just accepted it. So a brand new Hungary was formed, with the new government led by Santa Claus. The Habsburgs then replaced Ferdinand with Franz, who said no to everything that Ferdinand allowed. So fight! The revolution went well, and then the leader said, "F this shit, I'm out," and blamed everything on this guy. But he continued his armchair Rambo career from America till the day he died. Some retaliations later, some Austrian douchebag ordered to execute 13 plus 1 person, and since then, Hungarians don't cheer with beer. This went on, and with their passive aggressiveness they convinced the Habsburgs that this is not good. Please, no, please, no, please, alright. So they made a compromise, and Hungary became independent in everything, except in finance, military, and foreign affairs. The newly formed empire was... Then they got bored and wanted some action again. The Germans wanted some action too, so the Germans said,
"Hey, we should do some."
Austria was like,
Yeah, let's do some war, yeah.
then Hungary was like,
Maybe it's not a good idea.
so they agreed that war is the way to go. Franz Ferdinand went to Bosnia to do some fancy shit, but some Serbian guy didn't like this, so he showed him what a bullet looks like from really close. And because of this, Germany attacked France. The Germans' Blitzkrieg plan was successful, but after a really short 4-year-long world-scale war, the Central Powers have lost. And at last, Hungary gained its full independence. Life was hard in the kingless kingdom of Hungary, but gradually they found the right way. Without much choice, they got close to the mustache model of the 20th century. The Great War was so great that they decided to do a sequel. Hungary tried to stay neutral and slowly grew its border. To prove how natural they were, they signed the Treaty of Eternal Friendship with Yugoslavia, which lasted for the eternity of the next few months. Then Hitler asked Hungary to attack Yugoslavia, so Hungary had to choose between invading Yugoslavia or Germany invading Yugoslavia with extra steps. The choice was easy, but not for Pál Teleki, who committed not alive. Then László Bardosi succeeded him, who didn't have any moral problems with invading Yugoslavia. The Germans started advancing into the motherland, and Bardosi wanted to try his new winter tires too, but Hungary didn't really want to go. So some unidentified planes bombed the city of Kassa, and so they were ready to fight. The Hungarian army liked the Don River so much that they decided to stay there forever. From this point the war went really well, but Hungary wanted to be the new Italy by trying their side-changing tactic. However, it didn't work out for them. And congratulations! You have been invited to the communist gang. After some hesitation, this orange farmer accepted the invite for the country. Time has passed and it was too boring again, so some students held a flash mob where they redesigned the flag. The leadership didn't like the new design, so they asked them gently to stop trying. Then nothing happened and everything was great, said this guy. Even after some economic crisis, the life in Hungary was as good as it has always been. Who cares about oil prices anyway when foreign countries will just give you money? Oh, that you're supposed to pay it back? Well, no problem. They paid the loans with other loans. After some time, this caused some little problems, so they committed communism. And the sweet capitalism arrived to the country where everything is allowed. However, it didn't want to work for some reason. So they spent the last 30 years trying to find out how it should work.